19% battery life. So my phone's not going to last long enough for this to be long. But here I am again. I'm in the park. I'm doing my walk. I was talking to somebody today at how I've become such a strong advocate for myself in the workplace. I don't know why I said it that way. Advocate. Advocate for myself in the workplace. And they were like, oh, good for you. Good for you for standing up for yourself. Or good for you for making sure things are done right. You know how we talk about, let's say, laws in America and the Constitution? There were things that used to be in the Constitution that were legal to do, but were flat out wrong. And that's the same thing that I find is happening in these work environments, where they have things that are really legalistic in there, where we have things that are not right in there. And the people that they would never even do the things that they're asking of their employees to do. So yeah, it is great that I have learned to advocate for myself. It is great that I have learned how to push back when people give me BS to do. But I wish that they would do the right thing the first time and not force the pushback. Because I remember when I first into things that were being told for me to do in those environments. And I remember feeling, I don't know, liberated about it. I was liberated about the fact that if I was told to do something that was wrong, and I said, this is wrong and here's why, and I documented it, that normally I wouldn't have to do any of those things and there wouldn't be any recourse for my resistance. Matter of fact, what I found that was happening is they would say, okay, you don't have to do those things, but everybody else does. I, as a matter of fact, remember being in an office. I shared an office with 2 other people, and they started to come to me and say, Mark, isn't it crazy how they're making us do this? And isn't it crazy how they're making us do that? And I was listening to the things that they were making us do, and realizing that I was not being requested to do those things. And the reason why I was not being requested to do those things was because when they would bring me things that didn't look right and didn't sound right, I would challenge that. I would be like, for this reason, I don't think I should have to do that. And I would put it in writing. If they told me that something was a rule, if they told me that something was a law, I would look that thing right up. And if I couldn't find it, I would tell them that. Matter of fact, a little pro tip that one of my friends gave me one time is to be like, I will consult my lawyer about this. And at first I was like, I don't want to do that. Consult my lawyer. I don't have money for a lawyer. Why would I be at this job if I had money for a lawyer? But you can get yourself a pro bono lawyer that would only take money for your case if you won the case. Or if you start threatening things like going to the EEOC or the Department of Labor and making a complaint. If such and such continues, they will stop that thing real quick. And I've gotten really good at that, even just in the past year or two. Last year, about how I basically navigated through a huge HR case that I could have turned into a nightmare of a case for my old company. But they mitigated the situation by just transferring me from the department that I was in into out of the company with a severance package, because I blew the whole operation that she had going on, where she didn't like minorities. Like, I exposed that, and she got out of there. And I actually, when I left, it was because I chose to leave. But if they would do the right thing, I hate having to be in a position where I always feel like I'm battling just to be on level ground. I feel like I should start on the level ground, because now, instead of having a primary focus of doing the job, I'm on edge all the time, because I'm like, these people are working against me. These people are sending me to do things that don't make sense, that aren't right. So to take the time and the energy to have to send these emails, I just did it today. There was a big change that was happening with my position at my job only, and nobody else on my team. I saw it coming. I saw the writing on the wall of how it was going to play out. So before that change happened, I made a complaint. They were like, oh, that's valid. Let's talk about it. So we had a series of meetings where I wrote down all my concerns. I had this and this and this and that, and this are my concerns. We had probably more than 10 meetings in the last month just on the things that I had complained about. They assured me, oh, somebody even told me, oh, you're thinking negatively. Like, just think about the ways that it's going to succeed. Oh, somebody's following me? Hold on, somebody's following me. Bang! I like doing that. I like when people tell me dumb things. Anyways, hi Prince, hi Cass, hi Tasha. Yeah, I told them how it was going to play out. It started to play out that way. And I spoke to them again, and I said, I told you this was going to happen. And it did happen. So now I did a paper trail of emails where I have everything lined up to where I was like, I said that this was going to happen. We talked about it. We had all these multiple meetings. I did all this work to try to prevent things from going this way. Nobody listened. It went exactly how I said it was going to go. And people at the job have told me there's nothing that you could do about it. They tell me, like, a company is going to do what a company wants to do. And I'm like, Kanye fell off. The JK saved you, Jonathan. I'm not even joking. The JK saved you. Because people just jump on these comments to say whatever. And I'm not like I was when I started this channel. Despite this saying music and mental health. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, things played out exactly how I said they were going to play out. I have my paper trail of emails. And I know that things are going to work in my favor because I document, I raise my voice, not literally, figuratively, as in I speak up for myself. That's hilarious. I just got done brushing my teeth. I'm locked in now. Yeah, I know that I'm not going to get pushed around in any work environment anymore because now I know how to navigate through those things. But it would be nice to not have to jump through all those hoops. It would be nice to not have to figure out how to put the press on a company for the things that they're making you do. Just don't do those things. Just don't do those things. And it would make my life so much easier. So that's the dilemma I have with working with any of these companies. And it's the reason why when I start a new one, which I have done a few times in the last 10 years, people are always like, sounds like a good opportunity. I hope this one works out for you. I hope things are going to be different this time. And it's not pessimistic for me to say, it's just a job. It's just a means for me to make an income. And that's how I feel, and that's how it goes. That's not just based on me jumping into the workforce. If you had spoken to me when I was 22 and I was just wrapping up with college. I just finished college and I had just gotten my degree. I came out into the workforce. I saw things going a much different way. I did not have a pessimistic view. I remember my first couple of jobs. I enjoyed those jobs. And I was like, it's only going to go up from here. Because I watched my dad climb up the corporate ladder from where I was. But as I started trying to climb the corporate ladder, I'm like, this ladder is leaned on the wrong roof. This ladder is leaned against the wrong house. Because I don't want to do the things that it will take to get me to the top of this ladder. Because frankly, a lot of those things compromise your value system. I just saw somebody get a promotion into a position where they knew exactly what was going on our level, but yet they got into that position and started doing the same things that they were pushing back against. That's another company tactic. Let's promote the person or coddle the person who is the most resistant to the things that we have going on. Put them in a leadership position, give them a little bit more money, and then have them be the face and the voice of pushing those things onto you, who formerly was their peer. I saw that happen. What I'm realizing is you can plug in different jobs, but the system is all the same. You can plug a different job, but the system is all the same. Because I literally saw this in a factory job that I did. How could I compare a factory job to a corporate job? Easy. I remember we were all on the line. We were working on that assembly line. Then there was this really troublesome worker on that line that would rally the troops and be like, this is not right. This is not fair, right? So they went to that person and they said, you possess great leadership qualities. So we are going to promote you to floor lead. Now, as the floor lead, the upper management used to come down and be like, hey, y'all need to produce those numbers. You're not working hard enough, etc. And we would all be like, screw those guys. Screw that guy. That particular guy, actually. There's one guy. And he was the biggest voice that was saying this. Then all of a sudden, when he became floor lead, he looked miserable because now he had to be the one delivering that message to us for an extra $1 an hour. What they try to do to me, they don't promote me. They don't move me around, but they tell me, they're like, they tell me whatever they think that I want to hear, basically. I just had somebody in my company who has a position that is a much more higher authority than me and is much higher paid than my position. And I said to somebody that I don't like the way that they addressed me. And when I say I have never received this type of apology at a company ever, this apology was one for the ages, which some people might feel like, oh, that's a flex. because you just got this person who probably had no intention or no need, no wants to apologize to you, especially in that kind of dramatic fashion, to apologize. But it's just all political. So it wasn't authentic. I don't want to have to tell somebody to make somebody else. Like, I just don't want you to think that speaking to me like that is okay, just because it's not okay. Not because somebody told you, oh, this is a corporate no-no, and the next time I hear a report like this, you're going to get disciplinary action. That's another thing. Relationships within the workforce, and I don't mean romantic relationships, but just these forced relationships and interactions that we have to have with people, where they're speaking corporate babble to you. I'm never going to be with that. I just don't have it in me to do corporate babble. I'm a person sitting at that computer. I don't give robotic responses. I can't believe he still lets me on. Realistically, Mark hasn't known me for this long. I would have been banned. That is true. You speak the truth. I can see chat, but I don't know anything about that. I didn't alter anything about the chat tonight. The chat is in its natural raw form tonight. But that's it. Tomorrow is going to be my first office day since starting this new job. I've met a couple of my coworkers before, but this is the first time I'm going to be meeting the full team. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. I used to love The Office, funny enough. Not The Office, the show. Even though I do kind of find some of the clips from The Office to be funny. I mean, I used to love going into the office at my other jobs, because that is what I was used to. But now I'm not having dry cleaning already. I remembered about my dry cleaning. Fortunately. Well, I would have remembered tomorrow when it was time to go, but I got my clothes ready since last week. Bro, 22. I was like 4. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Talk to y'all later.